between 50 and 70 tons. Some of the stones are even heavier. So how could you have moved these into place? How could you have moved them from Wales, where the bluestones, the spotted dolerite, came from within Stonehenge?
So Stonehenge is very interesting in that it evolves over a very long period of time, and the first thing that goes up at Stonehenge is not there anymore.
Stonehenge is the ultimate historical mystery, one of the most famous landmarks in Britain. The unique stone circle situated in modern-day Wiltshire continues to confuse historians and visitors alike. Despite extensive research and theorizing, today we are really no closer to understanding how the stones were put there and why. Stonehenge remains one of the most fascinating marvels of the ancient world. When was it built? By whom? What purpose did it serve? Those questions and many more continue to be asked by archaeologists, but the mystery of the site seems to be a big part of why we find Stonehenge so captivating. Before we begin, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. Stonehenge in Wiltshire, a monument of huge stones set in a ring, is a prehistoric wonder. It's one of the most famous sites in the UK and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which has long fascinated the public and archaeologists alike. The name most likely derives from ancient Anglo-Saxon meaning hanging stones. Today, the ancient site receives more than 1 million visitors a year. The site went through various transformations and didn't begin as a ring of stones. The circular earth bank and ditch that surround the stones can be dated back to about 3100 BC, while the first stones are believed to have been raised at the site between 2400 and 2200 BC. Over the next few hundred years, the stones were rearranged and new ones added, with the formation we know today being created between 1930 and 1600 BC, and was created by people who left no written records. This, of course, is the main reason why so many questions persist around the site. Some of the stones are so huge and heavy. The stones take up to 30 feet, 9 meters tall, and weigh 25 tons. On average, it's a mystery how they got there. Much of the facts surrounding Stonehenge remain a mystery. As it stands, nobody in the modern world knows for sure exactly how the stones came to take their current position. The lighter stones of the structure weigh the same as 2 cars, while the bigger ones are equivalent to 4 fully grown African elephants. Without advanced industrial technology, how did they assemble these stones together? Medieval folk believe that the wizard Merlin moved the stones to England from Ireland. Modern archaeologists theorize, however, that the stones were dragged on sledges or water rafts. Some suggest that people didn't move the stones at all, and that instead glaciers transported the stones across southern Britain. But the finding of 2 ancient stone quarries in Preseli ended that debate for the most part. Scientists also have experimented with ideas of how to transport the large stones, 160 miles, 260 kilometers from Wales. According to Parker Pearson, they discovered that moving small megaliths like the bluestones, which mostly weighed 2 tons or less, was not actually that difficult, even with just dragging the stone on a sledge. Stonehenge is made of 2 types of stone, saracens and bluestones. Saracens are the larger ones and come from the Marlborough Downs. The volcanic bluestones are from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away. We do know that the site was built with a sophisticated understanding of mathematics and geometry, as it is aligned with the rising and setting of the sun. The main axis of the stones is aligned from the solstice axis. At midsummer, the sun rises over the horizon to the northeast, close to the heel stone. These seasonal times must have been significant to the people who built Stonehenge. As it turns out, the monument might be one of the best places to hold a concert. The stones possess their own distinct acoustic properties. When they are hit, they emit a loud sound that resembles a big ring. Sometimes referred to as ringing rocks, these stones were revered in some ancient cultures because it was believed that they possessed strong healing powers. The characteristic could have something to do with the origins of the monument, as well as its original intended purpose. Some historians believe it was once a place thought to heal people who visited Merlin the magician. The Romans and the Druids have all been given credit for building Stonehenge. But now archaeologists think the first stones were raised around 2500 BC by native inhabitants of late Neolithic Britain. According to English Heritage, the government's body that looks after England's historic sites, in a 2019 study, researchers used DNA from Neolithic human remains to determine the ancestors of Stonehenge's creators likely arrived in Britain from Anatolia, or modern-day Turkey, around 4000 BC. Researchers generally believe Stonehenge was built to track the sun's movements, namely the summer solstice. In 2013, a team of archaeologists excavated the cremated remains of 50,000 bones at the site, belonging to 63 men, women, and children. These bones date back to as early as 3000 BC, though some are only dated back to 2500 BC. This suggests that Stonehenge may have been a burial ground at the start of its history, though it is not clear if that was the site's primary purpose. In another recent founding, archaeologists discovered the cremated remains of people buried at Stonehenge. The Stonehenge Riverside Project 2008 excavation retrieved about 58 burials, including at least 9 men and 14 women. As it is thought that anyone buried at Stonehenge had elevated social status, this therefore poses questions about the role of women in the Neolithic period. Stonehenge has become such a recognizable symbol that it has made cameo appearances in many cultural features. It was in the Beatles' film Help, for example, as well as the Roman Polanski's Tess, and the classic mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap. It was shown up in books, computer games, and television shows. And let's not forget National Lampoon's European Vacation, in which Clark Griswold bumps into one of the stones and knocks them all down, one by one, like a giant stack of dominoes. The Neolithic builders would not be pleased. Even so, no matter how many new discoveries are made, it seems that Stonehenge will only continue to throw up new questions for scientists and the media to ponder. These Neolithic people had huge skill and ambition. Such a huge monument erected so perfectly, after many centuries, is not something easy for us to understand in our fast-paced modern world.